everyone, it's Debbie Mirza, the author of The Covert Passive-Aggressive Narcissist and the Safest Place Possible. I want to talk to you today, those of you who are on lockdown or quarantined with a covert narcissist. One, my heart goes out to you because I know how difficult that would be. If you're quarantined with a covert narcissist, this might be a time where you're discovering that you're with a covert narcissist because they are the type of narcissist that's most difficult to recognize and diagnose. So if you're with one today, you'll find, right now in your life, in the same home, you're going to find you're going to feel very tired all the time. And as much as you try and eat healthy and exercise and do things to have your energy come back, it's going to be really difficult. And know that that's because you're with a covert narcissist on top of everything else that's happening in the world right now and the collective fear that you're probably picking up. Also, if you're with a covert narcissist, you're going to have very low self-esteem. You're going to question your own reality. They're going to talk to you in ways where things are going to be twisted so they're your fault. They're going to word things in a way where they're kind of like teaching you because they know better. And this is all going to chip away at your self-worth and your trust of yourself. And I want to say, first and foremost, you can trust yourself. If you're feeling like something's off with this person, something's off with that person. If you're feeling like there's a reason that you're maybe having health issues, maybe depressed, a lot of times what happens, we're in a situation right now that is really challenging. And it will bring up a lot of fear and anger and anxiety in us. And so a lot of times we can attribute what we're feeling with what's going on outside of us. And I'm sure that's, happening as well inside of you because it's happening with all of us. But a lot of times we don't notice that the person we're living with is a big reason for us feeling this way. And so we end up blaming other things for how we're feeling. So this is what I want to say to you today. The world is going through a death and rebirth, essentially. And we're in a pause right now. And these pauses that happen in our life, and this is an extraordinary one. We've never been in a situation where the entire world is on pause except for healthcare workers and grocery store workers, and God bless all of them. But if you're not, if you're home a lot right now and you're with the narcissist, I would recommend using this time to your advantage. Use this time to really take inventory of this relationship, of this person, of what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. This is the time. I have two pieces of advice for you. One is take incredible, beyond normal care of yourself. So what that would look like is leave the house. I know we're supposed to stay home, but when I say leave the house, I mean go into nature where you're not around other people. Go into nature once a day if you can. And take a walk, sit under a tree, be with yourself. During the day when you're home, put on earphones, listen to music, listen to my books on audio, do guided meditation, whatever will help you feel better, get clarity, give you hope. Do those things right now. If you have children, that's challenging. I have to say, first of all, recognize that it's challenging. This is an extraordinary time, but this could be a really bonding time with you and your kids. So do those same things with them. What helps calm all of you? Watch funny movies, watch heartwarming movies. get them out into nature. So I would avoid the covert narcissist as much as possible. I would stay away from emotional conversations with them because they can they do things to rile you up emotionally. So I would just stick with facts, kind of like a business type relationship. And I would use this time to journal, get by yourself, whether that's early in the morning if you have kids or late at night, and really look at their behavior, look at how you feel, like take inventory of all of it. And then, I just heard a statistic that in China, now that quarantines are done, a lot of divorces are happening, and it makes total sense because during that pause, our eyes open to things that we don't see before, and also a strength can rise up in us as far as, I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. And I'm wondering if that's where you are right now. I can't do this anymore. And maybe a bit of self-worth is rising up and going, I deserve better than this. Because I'm telling you, unless you are feeling loved by someone, if you're not feeling cherished, if you're not feeling loved, if you're being devalued, demeaned, if you're being taught to, if you're always feeling less than the person you're with, that is not love, and you deserve love. So I would take this time and strategize. Take care of yourself and also take notes. Like if you decide, I can't do this anymore, I have to figure out another way, I would start coming up with steps. Okay, is there a phone conversation I can set up with an attorney, a divorce attorney, if you're in a marriage situation? If you're in a dating situation, do you have to even be with that person right now? If you're dating and have no kids, is there somewhere else you could go, or somewhere you can be by yourself? So I'd really take the time to just, even if you're going to have a conversation with a divorce attorney that is private on the phone and you just want to get information to help you make decisions. Baby steps. It's like, what can you handle right now that doesn't cause you to feel a lot of anxiety? Just baby steps. Okay, I'm going to gather information. If I leave this person, what would that look like? What do I need to do during this time? Do I need to go to the ATM and get some cash out, and start stashing some cash so that I will have some money to start out with when I leave? Do I need to start making copies of bank statements? I would ask those specific questions. How will I look, financially? Because that's always a big issue for a lot of people. Logistically, where would I live? How would I do this with the kids? All of this can feel overwhelming. So I would just write down steps and just do one at a time and start planning your exit strategy. I would also highly recommend getting support during this time, whether that's if you have nobody in your life that you feel supported by, find a hotline that you could, like a domestic abuse hotline that you could call. If you have a friend or family member that you can talk to about this, please do. I know a lot of times there's shame and embarrassment involved, and know that you're worth being supported through this. I also started an online support group on Facebook. I'll put a link to it. I think it's called Healing After Experiencing Covert Narcissism. But you can look it up on Facebook, and I'll put a link below. We try and screen people as much as possible and try and keep it as safe as possible. It's difficult being the internet, but it is a private group, so no one can see that you're in it. and you can connect with other people that are going through the same thing. So those are my advice to you is use this time. Project forward in your mind. This is going to pass. At some point, what we're going through is going to change, and we're going to be back to work, and stores are going to be open, and most people will go back to life as normal, And for you, I want to encourage you to really think, after this is done, when life goes back to normal, what will you be really glad that you did to really use this time to your advantage? I really want to invite you to be your biggest bodyguard, your biggest advocate, your biggest cheerleader, and to tell yourself how proud you are of yourself every single morning, because what you are experiencing is incredibly challenging, because it's hard to see straight. It's hard to think straight when you're with these people and when you're with them 24/7, every single day. Sorry about that. I forgot to put Do Not Disturb on, and a call came in and it stopped filming. So I'm going to try and figure out how to splice stuff together. I'm not a big editor type person on YouTube. So I will just end this. I am sending you so much love and a big virtual hug, and you're going to get through this, and this will pass. And use this time to take care of yourself and to plan your exit strategy if that's what feels good to you. You are the boss of your life. You know better than anybody else what you need, and know that. Don't let anyone else in your life have more power and authority than you. So, once again, sending you love, big virtual hug, and I will talk to you soon.